Yo, 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 what's up? Welcome to another episode of Friday Night WrestleCast. This one is for AEW's Fight for the Fallen 2020. I'm always adding the years because they don't add anything special. It's just called Fight for the Fallen, and we've already had one before. So, it's Fight for the Fallen 2020. I am your host, Adam Vale, and I'm joined by the usual cast. We got Richard Bailey Jr. What's up, Rich?
What's up, listeners and viewers?
We got Boston Ricky.
What's up? How's it going?
And we got Sister Dana Abercrombie.
You said it right. I'm very happy. Yay.
Hooked on phonics work for me. Bum, bum, bum. Do you remember that? Those Hooked on phonics
Yes, it
commercials?
Yep.
Yep.
You know, I remember that. I don't know if people got offended with those things or if they were open to it. I don't know. It just always seemed wrong. Just the way they portrayed the kids on there. You know, and then they would all say, "Hooked on phonics work for me."
They were just so excited about it.
Yeah. It was
Yeah.
weird. It was one of those weird commercials at the time. That and Eyesore Glass. Remember that one? That also threw me off.
Which one?
The Eyesore Glass. Remember, it was the person with special needs, and they had him sorting glass, and he said, "Eyesore Glass." I'm like, what is this?
I honestly don't remember that.
Oh, yeah. If anybody's listening, Eyesore Glass commercial it's. I don't think it would qualify as a commercial now. I think people would get offended.
Yeah.
Oh, all right. Well, enough of memory lane. All right, so Fight for the Fallen. There's only 4 matches for this. I'm assuming we will get more, but right now there's only 4. So we are going to open it up as usual with 3 news topics, major news topics in the world of pro wrestling, and then we'll get right into the rundown of the matches and our predictions. All right, so Dana, hit us with the news. What do you got first?
Okay, we are going to talk about FTR. If you didn't know, they had a huge, they was brought in as a guest on Jim Cornette's podcast, and it backfired with the AEW boys and girls, and they were not happy about it at all. On the show, they discussed how they had some heat with AEW going in with the podcast, and they also talked a little bit about the differences for working with Tony Khan and with Vince McMahon, noting that Vince McMahon is surrounded by writers who are afraid of him, and that he apologized to them in their last meeting for not seeing pitches that they had sent in. And basically they said that it's funny that you mentioned Jim Cornette because we did the Jim Cornette podcast, and man, the next day we walked in, actually it was the hotel where all AEW wrestlers were staying, and you know the scene in the movie where you stop everything that you're doing and there's that record scratch. They said that's how it felt when they walked into the hotel, and that it was very awkward. They were also mad at us because we did Jim Cornette's podcast, and that's okay with us. We don't care. If we make friends, we make friends, and we've made a few, but if they want to get mad at us because they're trying to make AEW a better place and make it more money, we welcome that. So, basically they're saying they just don't care.
Well,
In regard
I saw some of this too, where they sort of made it seem like they expected the heat, and they don't give a shit.
Yeah.
And again, it's one of those situations where this is the cycle of life that we see for generations, right? There's always that tag team. We saw it with Kevin Nash, you know, remember? And that whole thing that happened when they went over to WCW, and it was like, oh, look at these guys, and now they think they run the show. And I think it's that type of deal here. You know, with FTR, they're going over there, and there's a lot of young people trying to make it. And even the people that are there, they've been friends for a long time. A lot of those people, the AEW roster. And then you got these guys that just show up, and of course they're put in a lot of the main stories, and then now they go on Jim Cornette's and they say all this shit, and there's a lot of heat on Cornette for a lot of the other shit that he has said, a lot of racist shit. So it's not a good look, because you're already coming in, and you're clearly, to most people, it makes it look like you're taking a spot, obviously, from one of the up-and-coming tag teams. That's where they used to see it. And now you're shitting on them with this, because a lot of people have strong views, and they don't know you, and you're coming on this guy's podcast that they don't really approve of. So it's gonna be there, but I was never that big of a fan of this group. I don't get it. I don't see the interest. I'm sorry. I never saw it before. When they were in NXT, I didn't see it. I didn't see it when they were on the main roster, and I don't see it now. They're a good tag team, don't get me wrong, but they don't shine. I don't put them up there. You're going to tell me that they're in the quality of the Lucha Bros? No.
For me, I feel that they've improved greatly because it allows them to be themselves. But I will say that I understand why some people feel like they're being force-fed. Like, it's exciting to see them at first, but to keep seeing them, in that high spot, I understand.
Yeah, I just Adam Page and Omega. So there's plenty of other tag teams. Is what I'm just saying, that I don't put them in that caliber. I don't put them up there. So I don't know. That's just me.
I feel that here's the weird thing. Also, I do appreciate. I think that they are very talented, and I think they're good at what they do. I feel that that's changed since coming from WWE because we're able to see them more. But you have to learn when to balance too much with too little.
I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know. Like with FTR, I thought that like in NXT that like when I first saw them, I didn't see anything special from them. But when they went on their run and and they had the tag belts and they feuded with American Alpha, it was an excellent feud. And I thought that they did as the Revival, like they did an excellent job of being those kind of old school heels, and their matches were interesting. Now their main roster debuts and all that stuff, it completely failed. It completely botched. But I see promise with them in AEW. I do agree that maybe don't expose them too much too soon. Especially when you have so many excellent tag teams in the division as is. But I don't know. We'll see where they go with that.
Yeah. I don't know. All right, what else you got?
Well, he talked a little bit about Vince McMahon, and he basically saying that the writers are afraid of Vince, and that
everybody knew that though. That there's no surprise over the years. We've heard that from every writer that has ever left.
Well, yeah, that is true. Well, then moving on. Then, for those who have watched the preview on Raw Monday, it was a huge surprise because Heath Slater was there. And those who don't know, he's been teased and confirmed by Rhino to appear on Slammiversary, which is on July, I'm going to say 15th. As being his tag partner. He didn't outright say he's Slater, but he said he has kids, and we all know that slogan. But anyway, he returned on Monday Night Raw, and he was confronting Drew McIntyre of 3MB. Very nice reunion. And he basically, was like, I was there for you. I always supported you, and I don't feel that kind of support now. We should fight. And we later learned that this is a one-off appearance. This is not going to be him in two companies at the same time or anything, and that he had to be convinced by Drew McIntyre to even make an appearance.
Yeah, Drew confirmed that. He said that. He was like, right. I had to convince him.
So he said the moment at the end was very special, and I was very much pushing for that idea to happen. I think I saw something on the internet saying I was behind it, and I'm thinking how they're getting this information. But yeah, I played a big part in making it happen. And to be honest, Heath was a little bit against it. I would be too if you fired me. And I spoke to my wife right before the phone call I made to Heath to try and convince him to come into the show for the segment. She reminded me how I felt at the time when I was released, and sure enough, he felt the same. He appreciated the opportunity with WWE, but it was where he had made his name. But mentally, he had moved on. He's ready for the next stage, and he's not sure about going backwards. So I made it clear to him, trust me, this isn't going to be like anything you've done. The first thing I did outside of WWE was ICW, and I showed my real personality, and it caused a buzz. and went viral on the underground. But if you get the chance to show out your real personality on Raw, that's going to set you on the right course. I know he's been working out hard, so people will get to see what he looks like now. And it also advances our story. Everybody wins. We finally got him on board and we got him on the show. He absolutely killed it like I knew he would. So, but this will
this upsets me. This upsets me.
Why?
This upsets me because it's Slater. Man, it's weird. It's a weird situation. So I guess I don't know everything that's going on behind the scenes. When they release these people, but they can't compete, do they still get paid at the time? Like, or is this a special check that he gets? You know what I mean? It's like, all right, you're not working during this time. You can't compete anywhere. You're fired. But are you fired and still getting a check until the no compete clause is lifted? Then that way you can work somewhere else. Because I don't know. It sounded like he didn't need the money, so he was willing to just pass on this shit. So he was like, no, I'm not going to do it. He had to convince him to come back to do this. And he knows, all right, well, fine, it's a one-off. But now it looks like it's more of a two-off, right? Looks like they're going to be another match. Now,
yeah, confusing.
Could this be also something that WWE, because we've seen them do this for others that they've brought back, where they sort of bring them back on a lower salary?
Well, yeah, they're doing that because remember with the whole COVID situation.
Yeah. And I wonder if that's what's going to happen because I mean we saw the tease. A lot of people probably heard about the Slammiversary. That's Impact, and it's sort of teased that he's going to appear. Right?
A bunch of people.
That's a bunch of people, but he was one of them. That was like a lot of people said, yeah, no, it's definitely happening. He like said some on one of his social medias or something. Stay tuned, and he gave a date, and that's the date of Slammiversary. So it's
Rhino said.
Yeah, and Rhino said. So now that WWE knows this, I wonder if they will. Is it depending on the match? Are they contemplating bringing him back? Would he come back if they offered something like that? Just to screw with? I don't think they would because they don't see Impact as a competitor. They've worked with Impact multiple situations, especially with package deals for video packages. They did that for with what's his name? I'm blanking on all the names today. Man, you know what I'm talking about. The one that was just there, the Woken with Matt Hardy. Look, I'm blanking on Matt Hardy. When Matt Hardy was there, and they finally got the Woken, but when they did the package deal and they got a lot of video and they did some other things because it's a different organization and they're willing to work with them. They even tried to buy that whole back tape collection. It wasn't for sale, but still. So they're in good relationship. I don't see them trying to undercut them by doing that, but it just still feels weird. And if that's the case, if it is just one off or two off, whatever, is that part of some pay arrangement or what? Because he was wearing a gimmicked shirt, right? It was free agent.
I don't know. Do any of you guys know if wrestlers that are like? I know that non-compete does not apply if your contract expires, but if you're released during your contract, I would assume that you're still paid for those 90 days.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm thinking, that he's still getting paid. So then he doesn't need to perform because he is paid to stay home. Right.
It's like, okay, we're letting you go. We're going to pay you for the next 3 months. You stay home.
Yeah.
And then you're free to go.
Yeah. That's what I was thinking. And
I thought that was...
So he really doesn't need this and that would make more sense because, like, well, I don't need to go do anything there for what? Yeah, I'm already collecting a check. But then when he came out with that shirt, I don't follow him on social media. I don't know if there's something he set up on pro wrestling teams after the fact or whatever. Do you guys know anything about that? Or is that something you can buy in WWE shop right now, free agent?
The free agent shirt?
Yeah.
I think I've seen it before.
Because everything is controlled. WWE is not like other promotions. Everything is controlled from what they can wear, the logo, the brands that are shown. There is no way they would let him go out with a shirt like that if that was just something independent. I feel that they would have to have some say on that.
It's not in WWE shop, so I don't know about that.
So then maybe it is just his own, something that he put together on Pro Wrestling Tees.
Maybe it was part of the deal. He can wear his shirt.
Yeah, that could be. There you go. That would make sense. Okay. Part of the deal. Yeah, let me try to sell some merch.
Yeah.
You know. Okay. Wow. So there's a lot in there. There's a lot with that. A lot of drama. Who knows? I wish him all the best. You don't want to see any of these guys.
Put the shirt is out independently through him.
There
it's
you
his
go. Okay, it's on to all right.
It's not through WWE.
Okay, so yeah, then they agreed to it. I'm sure
He has two. He has the free agent and the I got fired shirt.
There you go.
Yeah, Pro Wrestling Tees. Yeah.
Yep. All right. So it's his own stuff. All right, makes sense. So then there you go. That's his reasoning for coming back. It's like I'm not doing it. Well, can I sell my merch? Can I do something there? Can I show it off? Okay. There you go.
I wondered if they was trying to steal the thunder from TNA.
They don't see them as a competitor. They just don't see them in that regard. Their big competitor right now is AEW. They don't even see Ring of Honor as a competitor. They never saw Ring of Honor.
That fell off really sadly.
They still have a lot of quality guys over there.
Nobody mentions them anymore. It's so sad.
Well, they're not doing anything right now. That's the thing. They haven't done any tapings or anything like that.
Before COVID happened, it kind of like died down.
They had issues because of what happened with New Japan, and they had all of the Bullet Squad. Remember, that was the whole thing. The Bucks were over there, Kenny Omega. But then when they left to go do AEW, a lot of talent also left. And as you know, Adam Page, he's over there. Oh man, there's just a list of guys. A bunch of guys left also, and it just hurt them. It hurt them. So when you have that type of deal fall through, when you have a lot of these major stars, remember they did the New Japan, Ring of Honor, Madison Square Garden deal a while ago, and a lot of these wrestlers that people wanted to see were not on the card because of the whole AEW thing. It really hurt them, and I think they were caught off guard because they didn't have anything really planned after that. And it's sort of been in limbo.
that was the G1 Supercard at Madison Square Garden last year, and my understanding from that was that the crowd in attendance was much more interested in the New Japan portion of the matches than they were in the Ring of Honor portion of matches.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's a novelty. You don't get to see the New Japan stars. You know, the Ring of Honor guys, you could see them. They performed a few times over in the East Coast area.
New Japan by next week or next month. So that's a yay.
So, yeah. But we'll see. I hope it works out. I don't see him staying. I think regardless, even if they offer him a new deal, he's going to try new waters. Impact, I'm sure they gave him some kind of deal, unless it's a one-off also. If it's a one-off, then, man, what do? You got a one-off to a possible contract, and then you have one if WWE does give them a low-ball contract like they've been offering. What do you do? I'm assuming that Impact is giving them a legit deal. But also, if I'm correct on this, don't they Impact, they do all their shows in Canada?
I don't know.
Because that was a big thing before when they moved over, when the new company bought them, Owl, whatever it was. And they bought them and they moved to Canada. That was a big thing with Jim Cornette because he had legal issues there. So he had to leave because he can't go to Canada.
Leave the whole country?
Yeah, he was like the border. Like he's just banned from Canada for some weird shit.
I'm not surprised, but it's still
so he had to part ways with them.
No, it's so hard for him to. It's amazing how popular he is and like no one likes him. It's fantastic.
But then and then also I remember with Impact where they were paying. Remember this was a thing a few years ago. They were paying people to attend their shows and to hold signs, and they said that it was actually cheaper to do that. Then yeah, I was like, wow, that's so crazy. But they did it, and they were open about it. I was like, yeah. Because some of the locations that they filmed, they knew they would get a low turnout because of where they're located and stuff. So they just, hired talent companies. Said, hey, send people over. I think it was like $50 they paid them.
I love it.
People can look that up. That was something that happened a few years ago. And it was they were doing shows in Canada. So I wonder, maybe they're still doing this stuff in Canada. The one thing that I'm happy with Impact is, they have Sabu. Rob Van Dam's over there. It's some quality guys. They got Sammy Callahan. He's over there.
I saw that one.
And of course we know Cage was over there.
Tessa was.
Yeah, Tessa was. Yeah, they got.
So Impact has been taping at the Skyway Studios in Nashville, Tennessee.
Oh, okay. Well, all right. So they're back
during the pandemic, because what they did film. I mean, they did do their episodes at Universal Studios for a while, but as of a couple of years ago, they started touring again. But during the pandemic, they've gone to doing everything in Nashville, which I believe is where their headquarters is.
Okay. All right. Cool. All right. What's your last story?
All right. So the last one is a bit of a bigger one. So give me a chance to go through everything. Okay. So back in April, we were all taken by surprise when 2K Games announced that there would not be another installment of 2K this year. Yay! But instead, we was given 2K Battlegrounds. Okay? And that was the one where we saw the trailer of John Cena and Bray Wyatt wrestling each other in a swamp, and then the loser.
Yeah, it was weird.
That was, but it looked really fun. Yay! So we got a bunch of information that was dropped, and this is also available on the site, Koalition with a K. So what they're saying is this is going to be designed as an easy pick up and play game. It will be challenging to master, and they have a lot of advanced techniques that'll be learned and skills to be unlocked so players of all levels can enjoy the game. They will have, it's an arcade style power up with flaming fist, ice breath, and earthquakes, and it'll also have over the top screen visual effects. So remember when we saw the alligator, that's just the least of the animals that's going to come. So they will have also 70 wrestlers available at launch, and there will be much more when you have the DLC that drops. Now, what is confirmed, we have, no grumpy pants. Now, what we, no grumble.
I never get excited when they announce a roster and then they also announce on the same breath DLC. I hate that
Well,
shit.
it's a video. Every game is a DLC. I hate it. Super cards.
Well, the one thing I did see the pricing. Did you see it was $39.99 and the deluxe is $49.
You just ruining the whole thing.
Oh, my bad. Whoop, rewind.
Oh my gosh, we're going all the way. Lord. So, the roster of the 70 wrestlers will include Roman Reigns, Drew McIntyre, John Cena, Becky Lynch, Asuka, Daniel Bryan, Kofi Kingston, Randy Orton, Andre the Giant, Undertaker, Mankind, Shawn Michaels, Yokozuna, Sergeant Slaughter, Charlotte Flair, Sasha Banks, Bray Wyatt, The Fiend version, Edge, Stone Cold Steve Austin, The Rock, Ronda Rousey, Braun Strowman, The Big Show, Kalisto, Samoa Joe, Paul Heyman. Now, they will... do not. Now, all of the wrestlers will fit into one of 5 different fighting styles. There is the powerhouse, the technician, the high flyer, the brawler, and the all-rounder. Okay? They will be wrestlers who are added post-release that will be available to download at no additional cost. Now, when it comes to the announcing duties for this game, we have Mauro Ronaldo.
Yay.
Sure
Ranello. Isn't it Ranello?
Ranello.
Yeah.
Ranello. I'm dyslexic, so work with me. And the King Lawler, which I feel will have perfect style. Now, it will also feature 8 unique environments that will play a major role in the action. Because remember we saw the alligator was like, "Oh, I'm hungry," and John Cena got eaten, or one of them got eaten. Well, this will have interactive elements, adding to the mayhem along a variety of outrageous melee weapons. You will have helicopters, yay, shaking it, man, cars, goats, and of course the alligators. Now, here's the other thing. We will have, these are the different kind of matches. There will be exhibition, which is at home or on the go, anytime, anywhere, in local and online multiplayer action for up to 4 players. There's campaign mode, where you get to join the adventure of 7 new WWE hopefuls created exclusively for the game. The in-campaign mode and compete for the chance to earn a WWE contract. Along the way, you'll unlock new arenas that are inspired by locations such as the Everglades, a military-style boot camp, Mexico, New York, and Scotland, while receiving guidance from legendary personalities including Stone Cold Steve Austin and Paul Heyman. Then there's King of Battleground, where you take on all comers in the King of the Battleground. It's kind of like a Royal Rumble.
Well, they showed the Royal Rumble. I saw that listed in a screenshot.
Yes. So it's an online last man standing mode where 4 players start in the ring while 4 more wait outside to enter, challenging you to run the gauntlet and defeat them all. Then you're going to have the regular online battles where you get to test your toughness in online tournaments and exhibition matches. Players will also have the ability to customize the game's arena and use the Superstar Creator to make their own wrestlers. Yay. There will also be 8 different arenas, with each having its own environmental hazard or weapon. Fans will also be able to customize their own arenas. The Superstar Creator that allows fans to craft their own wrestlers. They can customize their body types, their sizes, facial features, clothing, hair, and fighting style.
Wait. Body type, so you can take away the big head mode? You can just put a normal size head?
They did not state that, but you can have someone who looks more like Jericho size. Or Jungle Boy size. Yay! Now, this will release on September 18th for the PS4, the Xbox One family, the PC, Switch, and Stadia. There's no information on if this will be available on the next-gen consoles, but they did say never say never. Now, as you jumped the gun before, the standard edition will retail at $39.99. You do have the ability to pre-order this edition, and you will get Edge at launch. There is the digital edition that will release for $49.99. It includes
the deluxe
Edge.
edition.
The deluxe edition. I didn't say the deluxe edition?
Digital. But they're all digital.
Oh, I'm sorry. Well, the digital deluxe.
Are they going physical? I don't think they're going physical.
No, it says digital deluxe. Everything's digital.
They're not, right? They're not doing a physical.
There's a standard edition. Maybe that's regular.
I don't know. I'm just wondering if they're going to actually make a box version of this game.
I have box art. So, yes, it's on the site. There is box art.
Okay.
So, yay. Now, the digital deluxe edition will retail for $49.99, and it will include Edge, Ronda Rousey, Stone Cold Steve Austin, and The Rock, in addition to 1,100 bonus golden bucks. That is in-game currency that can be used to unlock superstars as well as cosmetic items.
Mm-hmm.
Then there is the Edge Totally Awesome pre-order pack. Don't laugh. That will include Edge and the digital deluxe edition with the currency pack as well. Now, one more thing. 2K has confirmed there will be no loot boxes, and the in-game currency won't be used to upgrade characters. It's only for unlockables and cosmetic features. So, yay. Then they later went on into what is the story mode.
All right. Very well. This is. I saw screenshots also. They show that Hulk Hogan is in it.
Yes.
That was something else I saw. I saw 2 versions and they had Hulk Hogan. But my thing is, see, I'm open-minded to this because I like the superstars. My issue here, my only is more of a concern is the team that's developing this, because they also worked on the NBA Playgrounds, which I love, and it's fine, but there is a lot. In order to get the players in NBA Playgrounds, you have to keep winning matches, keep playing tournaments, and then use those coins to unlock. And a lot of these characters are super expensive depending on the player. So it sort of pushes you in that point to purchase with real world money more coin, so then that way you can use that to unlock those players. I'm assuming that's the same system that they're going to have in place for the wrestlers. It's going to be the same thing, because the way they have it And Playgrounds, you want to unlock Kobe Bryant, okay, you can unlock Kobe Bryant. LeBron James, you can get the one when he plays for the Lakers, or you can get the one where he played for Cleveland. There's different versions of him. It's not like you get him and you get all the suits. You have to get different versions, because then you can pair them up. And I'm sure they might do something like this here in regards to not teams, but different versions of him. So like, let's say, I don't know, you may get a Rock, but then you'll get the Rock, the early 90s Rock without the arm tattoo, shoulder piece, and all that. You know what I mean? And is that another character which you have to then unlock with the in-game currency? You already mentioned that they're doing it, those gold pieces. That's the same thing that they had in Playgrounds. And then there's other locations. But the thing is, a lot of the other location cosmetic stuff, you have to use... No. Not with the location, the cosmetics for clothing and stuff, real world money.
No money.
You couldn't do it. Okay, fine. No money for that. Now, the way I heard it, you described this, it was that there was no loot boxes.
Right.
Now, buying these cosmetics has nothing to do with loot boxes. You still, that's the thing, it's not a loot box. You see what you're getting. You just have to pay for it. You can't earn in-game currency toward it. The in-game currency only goes toward, in the NBA Playground, that's why I'm comparing it to the courts and to the players. But for cosmetics and things like that, you have to use real world money. So I wonder if this is the whole process. Yeah, again, there is no loot boxes. That's not a loot box system. This is just microtransactions that they're asking for. And if you want to unlock that wrestler, let's say he costs 20,000, some ridiculous number of gold points, and we don't know how the balancing system, and every match you win only gives you 50 gold. You know what I mean? That's going to take forever, which is going to force people to just say, shit, I'm going to pay this $5 or $10 to get this whatever ridiculous amount of coin, so that way I could at least unlock 2 wrestlers. I have a feeling.
So they're doing the Star Wars Battlefront thing of, if you want to unlock Darth Vader, you can either play the game for like 100 hours, or you can pay for it and get him.
Yeah. But that's what. Yeah. Because
well, go ahead.
There's the last part for this. Because in Playgrounds, when you do win tournaments and stuff, you can then use your coin to open up a pack, right, and get cards. So there was a good chance you could get quality cards, and it wasn't stingy. I'm not hating on them. It wasn't stingy. I did get some good cards. So I'm like, oh, this is great. I actually did get some legend cards, because there's different tier cards. It's almost like a card game, the way they have it set up. And I wonder if that's how this is going to be set up with these wrestlers. Are they going to be displayed like that, as like, oh yeah, that you can get the normal, epic, or legendary version of a character. And this is what's going to keep that replay value, because like, well, I want to keep playing because I want to get the legendary version of Cena, Rock, and that whole thing. So, this is, I don't know. I'm iffy on it. It looks fun, it's great, but then with the pricing, it is a lower title, a lower price, and I think this is why they're doing it, because they plan on making money through the microtransactions. What were you gonna say, Rich?
So I think Dana was going to make a comment, but let me just say what I got him to say real fast. I was going to say the exact same thing based on the price of the game. I 100% know they're going to definitely have some microtransactions in this game. And because this is a 2K game, let's not forget, NBA 2K and the fact that they have microtransactions in this game, and also the fact that they have already revealed that if you buy the game on PS5, it's $10 more. So I will not be surprised if this game is going to be $60 on PS5 and Xbox Series X, if it does eventually come to those consoles. But yes, that's all I was going to say.
Now, if they go to the consoles, the next gen consoles, you know what? No, I was going to say, you know what? It could be crazy. It could pretty much pop up as a launch title on those consoles.
Yeah.
Because of the window. I could see that. I could see them as launch titles. But
it's expected out in September.
Yeah, that's what it said. So if it's September, the new consoles are expected, November? Around there?
Yeah.
That's plenty of time to then announce, hey, guess what? Within the launch window. Maybe not at launch, but maybe within the launch window for those next-gen consoles. I could see that.
Absolutely, but I will say this last thing, and then I want to go to Dana, because I sense that Dana has a comment to make, so I'm gonna be quick. I really like the story of this game. The fact that you have Paul Heyman looking for the next big talent. I like that concept. So I would give it a try for that, for sure, because Paul Heyman and Steve Austin playing the role within the story, that sounds pretty interesting. But we will see how all the other stuff pans out. But yes, go ahead, Dana.
Okay, aside from Richard, y'all just mean. Y'all just
Oh wait,
hate
real quick, one last thing, because I'm just remembering, NBA Playgrounds for a limited time had offered for $20 you could unlock all of the players. Then they had removed that. There was it was like this one time, it was a pass, I missed it and I never bothered. But there was a time, so I wonder if there is going to be like a golden unlock ticket, and we've seen this done on the WWE 2K series with that unlock everything. And what was that? I think it was like $15. I think $14.99. It was something like that. I know it was more than $10 or something like that, but it was just it will unlock everything, and I could see them trying to do that too.
See, but wasn't that a part of the if you got the digital deluxe edition, they included that the accelerator?
The accelerator was it?
Yeah.
Yes, if you got if you wound up getting the big one, the deluxe. They didn't mention that in this though for the deluxe. It seemed like you just get Edge and you get some gold points, so that way you can unlock one of your favorite wrestlers. Because even what you just said, Dana, the 70-something wrestlers, that's 70-something available. That's not playable. That I'm sure they're in the game, but you would have to unlock them, and either unlock them through a story or purchase them with those gold bars to unlock.
Yes.
That's it. That's it.
No, there are 70 wrestlers that will be available at launch.
Yeah, they're gonna be at launch. They're gonna be there.
That with the DLC.
There you go. That was a key word.
Who is lockable or unlockable, but there's more if you want people.
Yeah. So that's the key. Not playable. They're just available at launch. So you will have to work your way to unlock it, and that's fine. I'm not stressed by that because I plan on putting in time. I like even with the NBA one. I think I only purchased one, and that was because I was frustrated that I had the wrong LeBron James to pair up with my Shaquille O'Neal. And that pissed me off because I did have the Cleveland, and I wanted the Lakers version because I wanted getting the legendary Shaquille O'Neal Lakers card. And it really pissed me off, and I played I don't know how many tournaments because that was the fastest way to make the most coin or gold bars, whatever they call their currency. Play the tournament, and I gave in, and I did pay $5. $5 to get LeBron James Lakers. Yeah, that was it. That was a pain in the ass.
Y'all don't like anything, but okay.
Sounds like basic Ultimate Team, like what they do in Madden.
Oh yeah. It's exactly like that, but. No, you know what? You're right. Now I think about because they did do updates with special versions and outfits, and then whenever the players did move, they would supply updates and they would do the kit changes, and they would switch them to the new teams. But that was also as another player. It wasn't like, oh, I have this version. Let's say if again LeBron James. Let's say I have LeBron James. Now I see he's on the Lakers. Does he upgrade? No, he still plays for Cleveland. You now have to get the version. Can I pair him up with the other one? Yeah, but they're not going to have chemistry. They're not going to work well together. You need the one that's
a separate entity. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So now you're stuck with the double dips. So that you'll have two of them. Eventually, later on, I wound up getting a Shaquille O'Neal legend card from the Heat. I was like, oh, look at this. But anyway, enough of that. But the whole point is just the comparison, because I have a feeling we're going to see a lot of what made that game successful, because Playground was successful. A lot of people hate all this in-game microtransactions because it's, oh man, it really pushes you to spend money. It really does. Now, I hope that's not the case for this. I hope it's toned down. They've learned from that. But then again, it's 2K, because Playgrounds, if I remember right, because I've reviewed most of their games, Deep Silver, right? They're World War Z guys, right? Those.
Well, no. 2K purchased the rights.
No, I know, but they did that. They did the first Playgrounds. This is what I'm saying. Then 2K purchased it, and once they purchased it, that's when they tacked on all this crazy microtransactions.
Oh yeah, something's going to be in
Playgrounds 2. Yeah, because then they pulled Playgrounds 1, and then you could only get Playgrounds 2. Yeah, it was a whole big to do with that. Big fan of the series. People don't understand. I'm a big fan. I played it on the console. I love playing it on my Switch. That's one of the games I lived on. It on the Switch is perfect for Switch. Those type of games, and I think this game will also be perfect on the Switch. I love these type of pick up and play games, and I think that it'll be great on it. I just hope they ease off of all these microtransactions, or at least make it fair enough that you put in time playing these matches. You don't have to put in fucking 20, 30 hours just to unlock one wrestler.
Yes, you had to do that in the WWE 2K game. So let's look forward to that grinding.
The grind. It's not fun. It's. I'd rather if it was a grind with challenges. Do challenges. I mean, we don't. There's no real gimmicks matches. I don't think they have. But if they set up something like, win this handicap match and then you can unlock. I'm just saying. Who knows if he's in Kurt Angle or something? It's like, all right, I know there's a goal now to do this, or win a Royal Rumble and you unlock Shawn Michaels or something. I don't know. I'm just saying. I prefer those methods as opposed to just grinding match after match after match, just trying to get that coin up just to get a certain wrestler I want. It's not fun.
All right. I really want to hear what Dana has to say because she has been waiting to say something. Yes.
Do I have permission to continue, Your Highnesses?
Holy crap. Don't worry. We're going to edit that part out. All right. Rewind. Dana, right. Your turn, Dana.
Yay. So in the digital deluxe bonus pack, there is a currency pack, which is used to unlock additional superstars. Yay. In addition to this, there is the story mode, where, like I said, you and 7 other people, you have to be the number one, and you rise to the top with Paul Heyman and Austin basically telling you what to do. It's like Tough Enough. Now, this story mode is not linear. Yay. You're not going to just go from match to match to match, and now you're champion and you work for WWE. Players can partake in side quests, which will allow them to earn different rewards. Or you can just do the regular straight path. But by doing these side quests and doing the different rewards, it unlocks different elements in the game. Okay? You can unlock various arenas, vanity items for your character. You get different power-ups. And it might also include other wrestlers that you're able to encounter, so you can unlock them as well. Yay. And then that answers that part there. The goal that they said is for the game to be completely over the top, and that it takes its inspiration not from 2K Playgrounds, but from All Stars, WWE All Stars.
I liked All Stars. I know a lot of people were against it. It's too over the top.
Oh no, I don't have any issue with All Stars.
It was fun. It's fun. I still play that. I still have that game. I have it in my RetroPie. Love it.
I think Ricky said he is not impressed though. So this is.
Are you not impressed with the models? That's the one thing that's throwing me off. The whole model design, character models with the big heads.
The character models look silly, and it does remind me of All Stars.
But it's a silly game. You're fighting crocodiles. If I don't like you, I can just throw you to a crocodile.
But I'm willing to be open. I'm willing to be open-minded as far as like understanding that this is not your typical 2K game. This is not meant to be any kind of simulation. No. This is definitely an arcade style, game for the hell of it. So. Yeah,
it's not realistic. You're not going to get your random realistic moves.
My controversial opinion, though, is that I am not a. I heard you sighing, Dana. My controversial opinion is that I am not a fan of having to earn the wrestlers. I paid for the game. Give me all the wrestlers.
That's the point of playing. You have to work for it. Achieve the goal.
No, I can achieve the goal with the wrestler that I paid for.
Yeah. Oh man! You know what? I'm just gonna say this much. This one topic has become a huge discussion. I'm definitely gonna have to put a timestamp in And we're going to have to mention this to the people because I'm sure a lot of people are going to want to hear all this because I think some people don't know. They just, I've seen a lot of comments online where people really haven't figured it out. It's like, wow, this is the same team that worked on NBA Playgrounds. There is something we could follow. Everyone just keeps comparing it to All-Stars. Yes, they're using that, but it's what's built around it that matters.
Yeah.
And
well, it doesn't help when they put in the description, as Dana read, we wanted this to be like All Stars. So
they didn't say they wanted to be like All Stars. They said it takes inspiration.
Yeah. Well, we can see that inspiration once we saw the first trailer and they're doing the glowing and flying up in the air. That's the inspiration right there because that was a big part of it. Doing your super move, and when you did your super move, you were just airborne. You were just flying. You know, you're going to do a rock bottom or something like that, you would just spin 360 in the air, picking up the guy, and then slam him.
Yes. And the story is told through comics. So there you go.
So,
yeah, see?
So
we apologize for talking video games on a video game site.
No, there's nothing. I'm sure, no. I think people are going to want to hear this part, which is why I'm talking about the timestamp. So, yeah. So that way people could just jump right into it.
They might only want to hear, like, for the ones that are interested in the game, which is coming out, they might only be interested in that part. Who knows? Right. I mean,
we're going to cover that. We'll do a special episode just for that because we have plans to cover that one, and also we're still
by the way, let me make this quick comment because I know you're going to mention that. We also discovered tonight that Retromania is not coming out until maybe August or September.
Sadness.
So, yeah.
It's all right.
We have other games.
There's other things coming out, but it's all right. It's all right. We'll definitely still cover that. That's a big one. So I'm looking forward to it. Those two. I'm looking forward to any wrestling games. It's always fun to play the wrestling games. Can't hate on it. Just got to be open-minded and hope for the best when it comes to the microtransactions. That it's not too over the top and grindy, because then that's not fun. People just don't like it. No one wants that. All right, cool. So there goes that. Now let's get into this card.
And Virtual Basement.
What?
Oh yeah, Virtual Basement. Yep.
Oh, Retro Basement. Yeah. When is that coming? That's not coming in this window. That's
next year.
Yeah, next year. That's what I'm saying. I think the only two wrestling games that are coming within this year is this the Battlegrounds and WrestleMania, right? Because all the other ones that we've seen.
Virtual Basement.
Virtual
Basement. Yeah, it's
21.
21. Yeah, that's next year. Yeah. So, all right.
Yep.
Here we go. AEW Fight for the Fallen 2020. 4 matches. Can't wait. Well, maybe I can. Who knows? All right. So we'll start with the first one. Right. This is a 6-man tag. This is the Elite, Kenny Omega with the Bucks versus Jurassic Express. All 3 members: Jungle Boy, Luchasaurus, and Marco Stunt. This one was put together. This will be a fun one. I want Luchasaurus to win. They didn't win their last match, which they really should have. And so, I don't... Wait, did they win? Wait a minute, am I losing my mind? They did win against MJF.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm losing my mind. They did win, because I was thinking of the match before that one. Yes, no. But I still would like to see them win this one. I don't think the Bucks need this win. Definitely Kenny Omega. That's not part of it. And again, we've talked about this before with the rankings and stuff like that. They're big on the whole ranking system, AEW. I want to see Luchasaurus move up in the rankings. I like Luchasaurus. The fans like Luchasaurus. Yeah, the Bucks are great. Kenny Omega's great. But let's let the youth shine. That's always been my issue. A lot of fans have the same issue when they start seeing these titles all around former WWE guys. You know, there's no hiding that. We're seeing it. So let's just, push some of the young guys that are up. And I know that's not intentional. I'm not trying to hate, because I know, Dana, you're like, oh, you're hating AEW. Not hating. It's just I want to see certain things. And what we just saw with the Jericho and with Orange Cassidy, that upset me. Because if you're going to push that hard for someone, just give him the win. Jericho doesn't need the win. I get it. He's a top guy still, whole thing. Then make it a dirty win or a sneaky win, something. But let him walk away with it, because then it would just boost the story even more if they're going to continue as a feud.
It showcased everything that Orange Cassidy can do.
But then it also shows that it's not enough. It's not enough. if it should
It
show.
is enough.
No, it's not. If it was enough, he would have won. That's what I thought they were going
Jericho
for.
is a legend and a former AEW World Champion. He's on a different level than Orange
Thank
Cassidy.
you.
We
Just
have
like
to
Ricky
push him
Starks.
up there, though. We got to pull the 1, 2, 3 card. Remember that? The 1, 2, 3 card where he just started moving up. He beat Razor Ramon, and from there he was one of the big boys. He was always in these matches.
I agree. That's what I predicted. That's what a lot of us predicted, that we would get the surprise upset. It'd be the 1, 2, 3 kid moment. It didn't happen. Well, I understand why it didn't happen, though. What are you going to say, Rich?
I just want to make a comment, and then you can continue going on with your point. I just want to say the issue to solving this problem with that particular situation is, I would say the feud needs to continue, because I noticed with AEW, they always have a feud, they have one match, and then that's it. It's like the feuds just end, and there's no continuing whatsoever. So they should continue.
I have a theory to that. I think that they want to avoid doing 50-50 booking, which is what WWE does all the time.
I see that.
Where they trade wins, and it's like, I'd rather not.
But especially what we saw with Cody and what's his name, Archer. That really pissed me off. That's also all I'm going to say. But anyway, just to keep it back on this match here, I'm just going for Jurassic. And I think it doesn't matter what team, what match they have, I'm going to keep pushing for them. They're just entertaining. They're quality. They're not a comedy act. Some people, if they just look, the comedy, they look like the no. They're all quality performers. They can all work in the ring. And that's what makes them special. Because it's fun. It's fun to watch them come out. It's fun to watch them perform. I'm all for it. I'm sure this is going to be a fun match, a quality match. They work well together, especially with the Bucks. The Bucks like to do the flipping and the flopping too. That works great. Kenny Omega is going to be great. This is going to be a fun match. That's why they added in a card. I picked Jurassic Express to go over. Why not? All right. So Dana, real quick, what do you think?
Okay, so really quick, this is still a charity show to benefit the COVID response team in Florida, and instead of tickets, because no one can go, they are selling shirts. So yay, support that.
Okay.
I also feel, well, not also, but I feel that Jurassic Express is one of those groups that is really great together, but for some reason they're just not winning enough, and I don't know why. And I don't know if it's like, oh, they're just the guys that's gonna lose. I really do want them to win. I feel that with this storyline, it'll help if they win.
Yeah, it definitely will help because AEW goes with the whole rankings, the win-loss system. Definitely help. Well, I don't think it matters so much with the Young Bucks because we already know Bucks are top guys. They're always going to be top guys.
Certain people, it doesn't matter. Like Jericho.
That's it. He's got the glow, She's show enough. That's it.
So, yeah. No, I feel, yeah.
All right, Ricky, what about you?
Yeah, I'm with you guys as far as I'm going to be rooting for Jurassic Express, but I feel as though the executives here are going to win this match.
Yeah,
I know it's
possible.
That's a dig on them for sure. But the booking that we're seeing is that the ones that run the company are being booked stronger lately.
Oh yeah.
And it's like I love AEW, but it's getting a little more obvious now. But I don't know. But I'm gonna stop betting against Kenny Omega in tag matches. That's basically
that's the shocker for me too. Yeah, with that whole thing. But a lot of his defenders will say, "Hey, but remember, he had the worst record when he joined AEW. He lost almost every match
as a singles competitor."
Yeah, as a singles competitor. So it's like this is how he's getting his wins back. Or he would win dark matches. Remember when the AEW Dark was just on YouTube before they jumped to TNT?
Hold on.
But I'm totally with you guys as far as the whole thing with they need to start pushing the young up and comers, the ones that are not quite as mainstream, because I remember when they had the whole tournament for determining the first ever tag champions, and the Young Bucks were favored to win it because they're the Young Bucks. They went up against Private Party in the first round, and Private Party won in an upset, and it was a major upset. I think I was there for that. It was in Boston. We were all shocked. It was like incredible, and they need more moments like that. Maybe we get that with Jurassic Express, but again, Kenny Omega in a tag match. I am not going to bet against that. So I'm going with the Elite.
All right, the Elite. Rich?
Yeah, so some very good analysis so far from all three of you. I have to say that I want Jurassic Express to also win. I mean, listen, this is the Elite, and one thing that I will mention, Adam Page is not in this match. You know, obviously there is still some tension between Adam Page and Kenny Omega. As I have said on previous shows, I don't think they're going to have that whole breakup yet. But I personally think if they care about the future of the company, Jurassic Express should win this. Because, yes, they haven't – you could say that they haven't had enough wins. And then I also recall Jungle Boy had his match with Cody, a very good match. But, again, you had him lose as well.
Yeah, he didn't win that
one. I kind of feel like you need to have them get some type of wins to make it look like as though they are a credible up-and-coming team. And, of course, I will also add that I think Luchasaurus – I don't think he really necessarily needs to be a part of any team. He can be his own – singles person, but obviously they're not going to go in that path yet. But I just think, if you want to do something with this team, they should win. I don't think that Kenny Omega needs to win, and I don't think that the Young Bucks need to win. And I will also add that they already won this past week as well. Yeah. So you really don't need to have them have another win. But that's just my opinion.
Yeah, and that's what we're here for. That's it. All right, so we will see. Hopefully. But either way, I think we can all agree it's going to be a good match. Everyone involved, they're all going to perform. It's going to be fun. I don't have the same feelings for the next match, which is FTR versus the Lucha Bros. And this is why. Because if this tag match was to happen in WWE, we already know this would be a no DQ, right? There's two big teams. You got another big team that just came in. You're not going to put them over one of your other top teams, which is the Lucha Bros. So you'll come up with one way to figure out a DQ. Yeah, we get pissy and stuff, but the point is that they gave us the match. Right? I don't see AEW doing that, which is great. I like to see finishes, right? Everybody pretty much likes to see finishes. But in this situation, with FTR being so new and getting all the press that they're getting and being all hyped up as like this great tag team, that would point that FTR is going over on the Lucha Bros. I don't know if I believe in that. I just earlier in this episode, I talked about some of the best tag teams that I feel are out there, and I put Lucha Bros above FTR. I am sure there's a lot of people that agree. Lucha Bros, they're just amazing. FTR, that's wow me. Yeah, they technical and do the whole thing, but it doesn't. There's a spark, there's some charisma, there's something that just never clicked in all the years that I've watched them as a revival and all that. It just never clicked. Lucha Bros, they're established, they're there, they've been working. Phoenix can take horrible bumps, and he still comes back. It's amazing that he can pull these things off. So before, I'll just get mine out of the way. I'm just saying FTR is going to win. I can't see them not winning this. They'll probably have them win dirty. It'll probably be a dirty finish. But still, I would prefer Lucha. But we've never seen it. We talked about this before. I think Lucha Underground was the first that I've ever seen. And I keep blanking on the Mexican AAA star wrestler that showed up. They kept hyping up. They did package after package. And his first match, he lost clean. And I was like, shoot, that was crazy. And even the people, when they panned to the crowd, and the crowd was like kind of shocked. Like, whoa, we didn't see that coming. I don't see that happening here. I don't see out of nowhere a clean finish for Lucha Bros over FTR on this type of match, this caliber match. No, I don't see it. But Who knows? But I think that they'll just go the traditional route and it'll play it safe. FTR. It'll be a quality match. They'll do a battle back and forth. They're all good competitors, but I think Lucha Bros are better. But I think FTR will go over on that. All right. So Ricky, what about you?
So I agree. I think the Lucha Brothers are a better team. You could even make the argument that they're the best one in the company. Like, I thought that at the beginning of AEW, that Lucha Brothers were the best tag team. But as they say,
weren't they the first tag team they signed? Not counting the Bucks.
Were they?
Remember when they did that whole big Vegas presser thing? They was like, yeah, and they were calling people out. They were like one of those sporting events. It was like, oh, we're gonna announce our roster.
You're right. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, they did that. They did that in front of the MGM.
Yeah.
Something like that. Yeah. The thing is that, as they say, wins and losses are going to matter in AEW, and FTR lost last week.
Yep.
So they're not going to have them lose twice in a row. So I think that FTR's going to win.
All right, Dana?
I have the complete opposite response.
Uh-oh.
I'm sorry. I like FTR. I think they've improved. So boo-hoo, all of you. When FTR first came
I like FTR. I like them. I like them.
You tolerate FTR.
No, I like them. I was thrilled to AEW over NWA, to be honest. Sorry, I really interrupted you. Go ahead.
It's all right. So, I feel that, okay, remember when they first came in and they had this huge thing against the Young Bucks that was kind of started by them, and everyone was expecting for them to start battling each other right away, and instead they kind of not necessarily partner up, but they just didn't kill each other that day and made this weird kind of like silent pact, and later would continue on, and we're in hoping that we're going to get that feud down the line. I think that people are expecting what are they? The FTR, sorry. They're expecting FTR to kind of just come in and just win all the matches and then face the Young Bucks. I think it's going to be the opposite. If you book the opposite, that way more people are more interested in what's going on. And they'll tune in more. Because that'll be a big shock. You have these guys from WWE and they're losing matches. It works. Or we can even see I don't know if it's no DQ, but we can see is the match DQ or no DQ?
It's a singles match. It's just standard standard tag team match.
Okay, so then we could see some type of thing with Young Bucks come back out.
Would they do that and interfere and do something like that?
Why
I don't
not?
know. It's too soon.
You don't have to go in and start physically attacking them. You can be like intimidating. Because the whole thing is we're waiting for this huge feud in this rivalry that's been going on for months now.
Yeah. But that's my concern with this match and with the Lucha Bros. Because if they do win over the Lucha Bros, we already know they're not going to feud. Because the plan is for FTR versus the Bucks feud. So
but they can. This is not something that's gonna be life altering.
I know. I just like the Luchas. I just want to keep them up there. I don't know. I don't want them to break up. That's the thing. For the longest time, they were singles wrestlers, and I'm glad that they're real brothers in real life, and the fact that they can wrestle together is a good thing.
They're not going to break up, and Lucha is going to win the match.
I wonder if they're still on loan. Because that's the thing. They're not official. Like they're there to work with AEW in the States, but if I remember right, they're still part of AAA. I don't know. All right, well, we got. So which one? So it's FTR. You pick FTR. Dana?
Yeah, I pick. No, Lucha.
Lucha, bro. Oh, okay. All right, Rich. What about you? Who you got for this one?
All right. I actually am going to have to side with my very good friend, Mr. Ricardo Negron, because the 50-50 booking is on the table. You had FTR lose to the Lucha Brothers this past week. So for them to lose again, I don't see that happening. Now, I agree with what you said, Adam. It could be a dirty win or whatever. Because the thing is, for some reason, FTR is looked as a face team right now in AEW. I personally think that they are better as heels, even though I agree that I have not really been a fan of the Revival and how they have been used on the main roster in WWE, so on and so forth. But I think they clearly are better as a heel team. So, yes, this could be the start of that. But I even though I love the Lucha Brothers, I would love to see them continuously win. I just think you're not gonna. It would be a bad look to have this team lose 2 weeks in a row. So they have to get some type of payback in this match, even if it is done in a dirty way.
But then if that happens, then it pretty much guarantees it'll be a rubber match.
That's true,
there
too.
There you go. Because then it's like, oh, you won this one, I won that one, now we're going to do another one. So in a weird way, they are doing their own little feud, but not really hyping it as a feud. So
Yeah, and to go along with the point that was made earlier about them eventually going against the Young Bucks, that is going to happen, but I feel like that's going to probably be saved, I would say, maybe for Double or Nothing or one of the other bigger shows that actually is going to be a pay-per-view. I don't think it's going to be something that happens just right away.
Talking about all Out?
Is that the next big one?
All Out, well, so I mean, according to Wikipedia, it's supposed to be Blood and Guts, the one that was...
that's the cage, the 2 cages, right?
Yeah, but that's delayed indefinitely, and the big one, the next big one that they would have otherwise would be All Out, which happens, I believe, like Labor Day weekend.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Well, I don't know if it's going to be that soon, but it feels like whenever they have another major pay-per-view event, that'll be when we'll finally see that match happen.
So we'll say Full Gear, because that's like November.
Yeah, that's
I think we're having a big pay-per-view at the moment.
Was that what?
I don't think we're gonna have like a big pay-per-view.
Yeah, it's
we're not gonna get major stuff.
There'll just be 0 people in attendance. Like Extreme Rules will be in next week.
Extreme Rules, the horror show. Look forward to that.
Yeah, well, we'll get to that when we cover that one. It sounds like most of that stuff is going to be filmed also.
That's filmed.
But like TV stuff filmed. So we'll see. All right, so we got only 2 more matches. This is it. All right, they're both singles matches, so this will be fun. Cody Rhodes putting up his title, his TNT TV title, against Sonny Kiss.
Lies you tell at night.
What you call me?
Lies. Are you serious?
No,
yep.
I'm not serious.
Oh.
Yeah, he is serious.
Oh, you're serious?
That's a confirmed opponent. Yeah.
That's
Wait,
it.
how did...
That's it.
Yeah, Sonny Kiss is the opponent.
That is the opponent.
How did that... Wow.
For the title. Yeah, I don't know the record, but seems to qualify for a title belt.
I don't understand.
I know Cody said he was going to do open challenges, so maybe that's
Yeah.
part
That's
of
what
it.
I heard. Open challenge.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
that's what it is, an open challenge.
yeah, and
So how do you get Sonny?
that's the person that they paired up. It's not the open challenge John Cena style where just somebody shows up at random.
Oh.
This was already planned. I'm sure that eventually they will do that, but that is not the case here.
Oh dear.
Sonny Kiss officially has a 6-12 win-loss record in AEW.
Yeah.
More than I thought. That must be on Dark.
Lance Archer couldn't win this from Cody. Sonny Kiss is not winning this from Cody. I'm just saying. Yeah. You know what? I won't even give my prediction. I don't think this is needed. All right, so Ricky, you can start it off. What do you think of this match?
It seems like filler to me. It seems the same with a lot of these TNT Championship title defenses. It's one thing, like I understand the. All right, well, first of all, let me just say Cody's retaining, so that I'll just get that out of the way.
All right, yeah.
But I'm worried that the problem with the TNT Championship and this whole open challenge and doing it every week thing is you're exposing how shallow the singles roster is looking because of like who's going up against it. I mean, you have some of the tag wrestlers going for the belt, and like none of the tag ones are going to win. So it's just like I don't see the point. I don't see the point. Like
and I think that's why they're doing the open challenges. Like anything can happen. You can see people leave tags just to take a shot at the champ.
Yeah, I don't know, but also it's overexposure of Cody. I don't feel like seeing him every single week. Like he's cool and all, but every week I don't even get to see Moxley every week, and we'll get to him next. But yeah, that's a whole other argument. Cody's retaining.
Yeah, Cody. What about you, Rich?
All right, so let me go ahead and just add real quick. This to me is this to me is the match that was booked the exact same time when they decided let's book Lance Archer to destroy Joey Janela this week. Mm-hmm. It's a match where it's very predictable who the winner is going to be, because they're not going to have Cody drop that belt yet. So yeah, Cody will win, obviously, but I have to say to AEW, you got to do better than this because you have talented people on there. You know, the suspension of disbelief. Give Cody a credible opponent and make it for an exciting a match.
There's one thing I'd like to add is that I know we talked about this on a previous WrestleCast that maybe they're flirting with the idea of turning Cody heel. And what they've been doing with this open challenge, he's been facing mostly other baby faces. So Cody's been the heel in a lot of these matches. The problem is that you can't really measure fan reaction because there's no fans there. So
the only thing I can do is throw in my fantasy booking with this one, and my fantasy booking would be they would pan to the back. Oh, here's some commotion in the back. Oh, what's going on? And Sonny is laid out, and it's Lance Archer, and he's like, "No, I want my match. I want my rematch." And they're like, yeah, you ran through Joey, and you just ran through this opponent. We need to have a match. And Cody's the fighting champ. And he's like, all right, get in the ring. And Lance opens up a can of whoop ass and takes that title. And it stuns everybody because it wasn't planned and it just happened. That would be my fantasy booking. That would get a lot of people talking about this event after the fact, the post. So that's fantasy booking. I don't think it'll happen. But if they want to spice this up, because right now on paper, like you said, this looks very predictable, this match. And like, wow, what's the point? What is the point? So that's my fantasy booking. Dana, what do you got for this?
First of all, y'all mean. All of y'all.
No, Yao Ming isn't here.
Ha ha ha. Hardy har. Mean. All of you. Nobody, I am assuming, watches AEW Dark, which is fantastic. They've had some issues. You know, it's like a nice little audition thing, and you have to prove yourself. And some wrestlers were really awful. But here's the thing with Sonny Kiss. I am drawn to Sonny. I feel that athletic-wise, Sonny is fantastic and can go toe-to-toe in a wrestling match. And I think you guys need to start watching AEW Dark before you're
it's not that. We don't need to watch. That's the thing with AEW. They planned it. We don't when they go based off of stats. When you start adding stats is why they do it. If you ever watch OTB, people don't watch all the horses. They just see the stats of the horse and what they're placed, and so that's what they're doing. That's why they made these stats count. And we just had Ricky read off the stats. Not impressive. And you're going against the champ? Come on now.
AEW Dark is basically Sunday Night Heat.
Oh, whoa!
Drop the mic.
It's velocity. It's superstars. It's main event. It's filler. A lot of the matches are like, okay, like, and I respect that. It's like, if you're really, really into wrestling and you want to see indie darlings go against each other that you may not have heard of, people getting their auditions, even the occasional squash match. I totally watch AEW Dark. It's if you can't get enough of it, it's a great option for everyone. I'm not going to say, though, that it's appointment viewing. Well, let's get real here. But I will agree with you, Dana, about Sonny Kiss's athleticism. He's put it on display multiple times. It's pretty good. But beating Cody sounds like a real stretch.
Super stretch.
And let me just make one quick comment: is that I agree with a lot of the points that have been said on both sides.
Wait a minute! Did you hear this? Damn it! Did you just sigh at that?
I did sigh because
Do you think Sonny's winning this?
I had I never got a chance to finish.
Okay, all right, everyone.
Yeah, finish.
Oh, that's what he said. Okay, I feel that. I know you guys don't like Sonny, and you don't think that
I
Sonny
like Sonny. Sonny was great in Ring of Honor. I just don't see Sonny winning this.
Quality, but you contradict yourself. You say, "Bring the new guys. We want to see the new guys," and then here comes Sonny being brand new.
Lance, the
you're like,
people
no,
that have been pushed. Lance Archer was being pushed as the destroyer. This almighty creature that can't be stopped, and he just got stopped, and he's gone. You know, that's what we're talking about. Sonny, no, not in that category. No. I wouldn't even put him in that category. No, sorry. Sonny's fun, entertaining, he's a great performer, but for winning the title, not happening. Sorry.
Well, let me just make a quick comment, and then I want to hear what Dana's pick is. The only reason why there is resistance to pick Sonny Kiss is because AEW has proven to us, just as they did, and we had this discussion before we started recording, what happened in Chris Jericho's match with Orange Cassidy. Last week, you guys are saying, Orange Cassidy's going to win, man. This is the guy. And then what happens in the match? He puts on a great performance, but what does it matter if he loses the match?
And a clean pin, too.
Exactly
A clean
you said
pin,
last
too.
week, too. Yeah.
Yeah,
right.
So once they give us a reason to believe that they believe in these other people, and you actually give them wins, I think yes, you have to have some cautious optimism about who is actually going to win the match. But no, continue now. That's all I wanted to say.
Sure, this time.
Yes.
Whoa.
Dana's been trying.
No. We asked a simple question, and then you kept saying, "Oh, we gotta watch Dark. We gotta do Sonny Kiss." So we're all assuming you already picked Sonny Kiss to win this.
I never picked Sonny Kiss. If you let me actually finish my sentence, the point that I'm making is Sonny Kiss. I know you guys are considering this to be a filler, but he is very athletic, and he has the ability to go up against Cody. And I feel that, yes, with this open challenge, we're all like, oh my God, why Sonny Kiss? Why not Sonny Kiss? And yes, we all know this thing about Lance Archer, but we all know that this is going to be Cody still winning. And this, I feel, is an opportunity for people who do not watch AEW Dark to see what Sonny Kiss is made of. Because so far, we've just kind of seen him doing, the tag match part, and then him always coming out with Joey Janela. So this will be a nice showcase of here's the talent that we have on Dark, and this is what it looked like when they come up. And not many of the wrestlers who are at Dark deserve that opportunity.
He teamed with Dusty.
Huh?
He teamed with Dustin.
Yes.
So they put him up with one of the big guys. I would consider Dustin one of the main players there.
Yes, but this is now a single.
Yeah, but right here in the title. So you're saying this is all done just so he can get a spotlight? Like this match. We've already talked about this. We've already talked about how people see this match that right on paper and from the stats, they're not going. This is going to be I need to go to the bathroom. I need to go get something to eat. And you know what? And people, before they get mad at me, there's always a match on the card that does.
Scott Hall in 1, 2, 3. Ricky likes to use that analogy. That's when we knew who the guy was, whose name I can't find. It just completely ruined this. Scott Hall and 1, 2, 3 kid who was Sean Waltman. Yes. Yeah. So that's how we knew who Sean Waltman was. It wasn't the fact that, No,
we knew who he was before because he was on a roll winning people and then beating matches. And then when he had the big one, we're like, all right, we haven't seen the build-up with Sonny. If they were building Sonny like that, if they were pulling like the Orange Cassidy, situation with Sonny, then yes. Then it'd be like, all right, then anything is possible. This is just a call out.
Building. They're not good with that yet. They have weaknesses and flaws, and building consistently is a problem for them. Okay, they just now worked on tagging in a tag match. The thing is that this is able to showcase Sonny Kiss, and yes, it's going to be one of those one-sided matches, but it can still be a match. Remember Ricky Stark? And everyone was like, oh my god, why him? It was still a good match, and he lost. And I still thought about put Ricky Stark in another match. Why hasn't he wrestled yet? He's really good. I would like to see him.
I don't feel like sacrificing a performer for the greater good of another one is a way to get them over.
How are you sacrificing?
You're putting him in this, and you're just feeding everybody to Cody. It's building his numbers because you still go based off of the stats.
Well, it's gonna be really technical. Cody should have never won out.
Hey, I didn't know. I didn't know that Cody was this hungry. You said they're feeding Cody.
Nobody here. I'm sure even online when this was announced, they were like, "Oh, okay, this isn't it. This isn't what we want to see." And we're not doubting that Sonny can perform. We know he can perform, but there's no way he's going to win this, and it just takes that out that possibility off the table, and that's what we all strive for. We love those possibilities. We love the fact that that's one of the things I really did miss about AEW. I mean, ECW, because in ECW, anything happens, somebody could just run in and be like, "What the hell's happening?" You know what? Ring the bell. That person is now part of the match. Oh shit! Anything happen. I miss that. This isn't gonna happen that way, unless, like I said in my fantasy booking, that Sonny on his way in the back, or whatever, he gets beat up. Lance Archer's like, "I never got my rematch. I'm not even on this card. I'm gonna kick your ass." And Cody's a fighting champ. Cody is a fighting champ, and he's going to allow it. And then that's when shit hits the fan.
Well, then you have that happening because Lance Archer, for some reason, is just trying to kill Sonny every 5 seconds.
Well, then this is it. Sonny's not going to make it to this match. Sonny's not going to make it. If anything, I would have been more thrilled when Cody first announced that he was going to do the open challenge. I'm like, oh, you're going to pull like John Cena, which was very entertaining with the U.S. title. Remember that? We didn't know. We never knew. He would come out in the ring, open challenge. Who in the back wants a shot at the champ? And we saw some amazing matches, especially when he was going against Kevin Owens. Remember? Those were awesome. And he let Kevin Owens do all kinds of crazy spots that he usually never does. Until this day, he doesn't do some of those moves. So that was fun. But we don't see this. It's not Cody versus question mark, or, to be determined. No, we know it's Sonny.
Well, what if Lance Sonny out before the match and then we get someone else?
What?
Lance Archer takes Sonny out before the match.
Then we get somebody else.
That
would defeat the purpose. That would defeat the problem.
I have a question because you brought this up before. What's going on with Brian Pillman's son? Because you saw him watching the matches. So is he in AEW now, or is he just...
They made it seem like it's a trying period. They're trying him out and stuff, but it sounds like he's going to be there. I think he's going to be there.
All right.
He did very well. He'll be in there. Yeah. Except for that was terrible.
Yeah, I think he'll be in there. All right, so I guess just to get to... You do think Cody's going to win this? You think it's going to be a good match? You like Sonny Kiss?
Win. It's going to either be a DQ and someone else comes down, or it's, Cody is going to win.
Oh, okay. There we go. Cody wins. We all agree. All right. Main event. Jon Moxley versus Brian Cage with Taz. And this is only for the main belt, the AEW champion, not the FTW belt. Which still, when I saw that, I don't get it. I get it, but then I don't get it. Why announce it now? Just if you're not going to put it up on for grabs, it just doesn't make sense. Because if you put it up, then it's like, all right, title versus title, it gets a little interesting. That title belt, for those who don't know, when it was in AEW, that is Taz's belt. That's something he put together. That's Fuck the World belt. And anything goes in those matches. But anything pretty much went in every ECW match. Turn off the lights, turn them on, Taboo's there, kicking your ass. So there goes that. But on here in AEW, I wonder if that's what kind of rules are going to apply if he does defend the belt. I'm assuming at some point he will defend the belt, and this would be their version of a hardcore title. So if he did put it on the line, that would fit perfect with Moxley, because Moxley likes to do those type of crazy matches. So it's like, oh, he's an AEW and an FTW champ. All right, so that'll be fun. But anyway, that belt's not on the line. They announced it, but it's not on the line. So, Dana, since you finished off on the other one, who do you have for this one?
Oh gosh, we haven't seen Moxley in so long. But I really like the way that Taz is going about this, and I feel that they need the win more just because of how they keep building up Brian Cage. And remember that huge long speech that Taz gave beforehand that got him in trouble. So
Which way? With the one with we have a tight ship? That one? That speech?
Yeah, that one.
Mm-hmm. But it was fun. It was fun. The whole thing was like, oh, you got tested for COVID twice, and you came back negative. You got a bad case. Oh, was it the chicken shits? Oh, that was fun.
So it's fun, and I think that he needs to win.
Yeah, no, Cage definitely needs to win, or else we're gonna end up in the Lance Archer Cody situation. We don't want that.
No.
And that's the only. But then that could be the reason why he has the FTW belt, because they don't have plans to take the belt off of Mox. So they're like, all right, we still want to make him look strong. He's now the FTW champ, so then he could still have matches, and he'll put that up for grabs, and it'll put him in that realm. But we don't know the stipulations. Like I said, the rules there were no rules during that time. I don't know if that's going to apply here. Maybe it might just be a regular belt. Right. FTW just is the name. It doesn't represent anything like hardcore, and could just be single matches. And then it's sort of a dead giveaway that he's not going to win. So
and it also Moxley a chance to get off TV again, because the whole thing with Renee.
Yeah. The whole thing with Renee.
Well, they both tested negative recently.
Were they still in the quarantine?
I think she is, because she caught it, so she still has to wait a few weeks for it to clear out. Then they'll test her again on that. But Moxley,
Well, so give him a chance, because he's not going to leave her right now.
Well, even if he wins, it doesn't mean he's going to show up the next week. He doesn't have to. They can just show him take a serious ass whipping, but still win. And then they'll be like, oh, yeah, he's home recuperating. He was a fighting champ, though. They could do something. They could put a spin on it. Typical wrestling spin. So who do you have winning, Mox? You have Mox for this?
No, I have Brian.
Oh, okay. There you go. All right, Brian Cage. All right, Rich.
All right. Well, time for my controversial answer of the night. Before I watched AEW this past week, I would have said Brian Cage 100%. Now, I personally think Moxley is going to win. Because why are you introducing this other belt? Now, obviously, we don't know if this belt is going to be defended in the future. We just know they gave him the belt so that it would feel as though he has something going into the match. And I personally made the comment, well, I think it's foolish for them to also have a double champ, because I was not a fan of seeing Keith Lee now as a double champ, and WWE has multiple people that are double champs. So I was not a fan of seeing that, even though I love Keith Lee. It's like him having both belts, it takes away from someone else that could be having that belt. So I would hope that AEW does not go the same route. Now that you've introduced that Cage has a belt, I think Moxley should win, but I will also add this comment, and that is that, unlike Chris Jericho, I know you guys said, well, they're not going to have Orange Cassidy beat Chris Jericho. We know that Chris Jericho definitely would be the type of wrestler who would give up an opportunity to win to let someone else go over.
Yeah.
I think number 2 behind him is Jon Moxley. So if Moxley was going to lose, it makes sense, because I think he cares about the business just as much as Jericho, and he knows that you need to have other people getting their chance to shine as well. So if Moxley loses, fine, that's great. But I don't think he's going to lose because, again, I'm conflicted with this whole belt situation. I really don't understand why you would give Cage this belt just as a prop going into this match. There has to be something going on with that belt in the future, too, I think. But that's just my opinion.
All right. You know, I'll jump in because you just planted the seed in my head right now.
Uh-oh.
A prop. You called it a prop. When you play these games, when you play WWE games and you get these props, what do you do with these props? You hit people with the damn props.
Yeah.
So I wonder if that's how they introduce it, and this is how it's going to be used. It's going to be used as a weapon, and it's going to cause a DQ, and the Moxley's going to win. I could see that now. If let's say Cage throws him out of the ring, Moxley out of the ring, and then Taz is holding the FTW belt and just whacks him with it. Uses it to hit him and try to throw him in, and maybe the ref sees it or something happens and it costs him the shot or there's some kind of DQ. Mox wins. But I think once you mentioned about bringing a prop, since it's not on the line, but he will be walking down to the ring with it, and then that way he still has a title. Whether he defends it or not, I don't know. I'm assuming he will. It is a championship title. That's where they're advertising it. So, but until then, he could definitely use it as a weapon. Because it's not like when you have your title belt, that your title belt goes to the table, right, where the ring bell area is. So this is not that case because it's not up for grabs. So Taz will be ringside holding this belt. Mm-hmm. So he could definitely use it. Definitely use it as a weapon. So.
Is this a no DQ match?
No, it's not a no DQ match. It's a standard singles match. That's what I'm saying. So if he hits him with it and the ref sees it, he's disqualified and Moxley wins. And I know it sucks booking, but that's how usually most promotions, not just WWE, they all do it. And that's how you keep both members of either the singles wrestlers or the tag team strong. Because like, oh, well, you know, there was outside interference. The manager was trying to help. And then cause this little thing because the ref saw it, and there you go. Now it's DQ. Hey, this isn't over. Okay, well, I'll see you in a few weeks or whatever. Moves down. So I mean, I'm just spit my prediction with it now. Then, I see Moxley still retaining this, just because of the belt situation. If there was no belt. This FTW belt, then I would say Cage. This is it. Pass the torch. Cage is the one. Cage is their version of Brock. And Taz is their Paul Heyman. Especially where he's doing the promo. Especially how he's getting in the face of the camera. Typical Taz promos. Awesome promos. Love it. You know, Cage is just standing in the back like Brock, smiling and stuff and nodding his head. It all works in that favor. Before that belt, before what we just saw with the match, with Taz, with the announcement, I would have just predicted Cage is going to win this. I want Cage to win this. I think it's time, especially if they want to build new big stars. Cage is a big star. He was a big star coming into this promotion. There's no reason for him to work his way up. That's it. He's a big star. And he's a big star that was not in WWE. He was a big star in the Indies, so he has that type of respect. A lot of people would be accepting of it. That's the backlash that FTR is getting. It's like, oh, all these wrestlers that come from WWE all of a sudden getting these big spots. Cage is deserving. He was there for Tough Enough, but he was never really on their roster. And he made his name out in Lucha Underground, Impact, and other, Gorilla, PWG, and other places. So he's done his time. So you know what? Fuck it. I'm just gonna go with my. I want Cage to win this shit. I want Cage. I can't. I'm sorry. Even though everything's telling me Moxley, they're gonna keep it with the belt and the whole. No, I want Brian Cage to win. He deserves it. He deserves it on this level. He's been a champ everywhere, and it's deserving here. And then with the time that they're putting into him, with Taz being the mouthpiece, and with Taz putting in his belt, I'm sure that was Taz's idea for that. So why go through all this just to have him lose to Mox? And I want him to give a beating to Mox, a real beating, make it real decisive of a win. Maybe a bit one-sided. This helps out for the story, because I predict this is going to be a feud. This isn't a one-off. This helps with the story. And this would also help, like you said, Dana. give more time to spend with his wife, with the whole thing. Yeah. Now, she tested negative, all right, but she's still probably home and taking time off because of all this. So, they could do that. Then again, Mox likes to work. Mox wants to keep wrestling, and I'm sure he's already felt like he's been cooped in too long with this whole thing. Did he ever resolve that tailbone injury? Holy shit, that picture he sent out was gruesome. Is that okay now? Or they don't even talk about it anymore.
I would hope it's okay. I mean,
it looked like he was growing a tail. It was like this big lump in it. It
was something else.
Or something. I'm sure like CM Punk probably would have said, "Hey, that's what I had. That's it. I had a staph infection." And but it looks bad. But anyway, I'm just gonna go with my gut. Fuck it. Brian Cage wins. He'll have the AEW and the FTW. It'll probably be a dirty win. That tight FTW belt. I'll play a factor. I could see that happening, and maybe that'll help him win. Taz will, do a cheap shot. Bing! He puts him in the ring. Brian Cage does his finisher, and that's it. So it'll have a little asterisk next to it. Oh, well, there was something, but it doesn't matter. He got the win, and the feud continues. All right, Dana. Did you do yours or Ricky? Ricky.
Oh.
Dana, did you do yours? Did you do yours? Yeah, we started you first.
She was first, and she picked Cage.
Then Richard, and then Rich, and then I came, and then now it's you. Ricky, you're closing it
out. All right, so I'm closing it out. The Moxley fan is closing it out.
Closing it out. Yep.
All right, so the first thing I'm going to start out with is on the topic of disqualifications. It's very common in WWE. In fact, you should expect to see multiple disqualifications on every WWE show, whether it's free TV or pay-per-view. I don't think that's the standard outside of WWE. In fact, I can't think of a time where there was a disqualification in New Japan, and I can tell you, you can correct me if I'm wrong here, but I believe that as of now, there's still only one disqualification on record in AEW, and that was during the Iron Man match between Kenny Omega and Pac, in which Pac did a DQ to try to physically hurt Kenny Omega. That's the only disqualification they've had so far. I don't think that this one will end in disqualification because that would be a bullshit way to end a highly hyped up matchup. This is not WWE. They do things similar to WWE. I mean, look who holds the belts, but they don't book it necessarily the same way. So I don't think that I think we're going to get a clear winner. There might be some shenanigans, like with Taz or whatever, but I don't think that it's going to be a DQ. So there's that. You mentioned Brian Cage's time with WWE. He actually was in FCW under the name Chris Logan, and this is when he was considerably smaller.
He was, but he never made it to the main roster. That's what I was getting at. He never got to be a big TV star there, and then made a name, and then went on the indies like you see a lot of these other guys.
Exactly. Yeah. He didn't get to go that further up, and I think that he kind of made. Like I was reading up on that, and he kind of made peace with it. That okay, he's just gonna carve his own path. And become a star. It doesn't have to be the WWE doesn't have to be the end all be all with it. I'm glad that he's in AEW and all that. But what you guys want to hear is the prediction. I've dreaded this because I can't shake off this idea that Cage is going to win. I can't shake it off. I look on the roster, and I can't see anyone else beating Moxley if Cage isn't the one to do it.
Yep, that's another reason.
There are guys that are capable of it, guys that they can book up to that point. Kenny Omega is someone like that. Pac is someone like that. If they book Lance Archer correctly, he's someone like that. But right now, if Cage does not win this, there's no one else. There's no one else. And Moxley's going to have it for a while. And Moxley he's not someone who strikes me as has to have his ego fed, has to have these long title reigns. He did not have, with the exception of the United States Championship in WWE, he did not have any long title reigns in WWE, and I'm not so sure about what his other promotions, how that went.
He had the New Japan one for a little while, and then something when he signed with AEW, there was some stuff, and he had to give it up.
And that's interesting that you mentioned. It's interesting that you mentioned New Japan, because like he took the United States Championship over there off of Juice Robinson. Mm-hmm. He held on to it and then had to kind of forfeit it when he wasn't able to travel. Yeah. I think it was a tsunami or whatever. He wasn't able to travel, and they had Lance Archer win the United States Championship, and Mox came back and won it off of him. And Mox is still the United States champion right now, if I'm not mistaken.
I thought he gave it up.
He gave up the New Japan one again?
I thought so. I thought when he went full-time, because at the time he wasn't full-time with AEW.
No, he won it back. He won it back. He won it back at Wrestle Kingdom. He won it back at Wrestle Kingdom. And he won it back at Wrestle Kingdom the first night, and defended it against Juice Robinson successfully the second night. And this is after he became full-time in AEW.
Oh, damn. See, they don't even talk about it. He never even talks about it.
Yeah. Yeah, they don't bring it up. Yeah, he's still got the belt as far as I'm concerned.
Let me see.
But
what was it? That was the U.S. That was New Japan.
The United. It's the IWGP United States Championship. You know, Kenny Omega was the first one to win it.
I remember that. Yeah,
that was cool. But Mox is someone that like you guys have said that he cares about the business, and he's someone that I think is willing to drop the belt when the time is right, and I think the time is right. That Brian Cage looks like a monster. He definitely stands out, and he's got the mouthpiece with Taz. And like, there's gonna be one obstacle that Mox can't overcome, and Cage might be that obstacle. And I've had people tell me when I tell them like Mox is losing it, they're like, no, Mox beats all the monsters. He's unstoppable. He's practically undefeated, and they're right. He is. He has a very good record in AEW, but that's just building up the rub for someone like Cage. So, I mean, long story short, I think that Brian Cage wins this, but actually, the point I was going to make, the thing I was going to talk about with the FTW thing was the reason why they gave that, and we're going to find out one way or another, is that you either make Brian Cage look even more of a monster as a double champion, or you cushion the blow of him losing to Moxley by being like, well, he's still a champ, Yeah. And so that's kind of his that'd be their way of protecting him, and it's entirely within the realm of possibility that Mox finds a way to retain in this match, but then loses it later on to Cage with a different stipulation. That's entirely possible. I just don't see it. I think it's more likely that Cage wins it and Mox tries to chase to get it back. But I don't know. I think it would be just unfortunate as a Mox fan, because the crowd was totally into him. You saw it at Revolution. He won it. They were totally behind him, and he was going to be like the champion of the people. And then pandemic happened. The crowds went away because of it, and we don't get to see him as a champion in front of these crowds for extended periods of time. I'm hoping that if he does lose this belt, which I think he will, that he'll get another shot once the crowd gets back. But we'll see what happens. But in the meantime, Brian Cage, that's my prediction.
All right, and you know what? Jon Moxley, you're right, is still the U.S. champ for New Japan. He's still the champ. And you know what? They are doing shows again. They're doing a lot of shows, so maybe this would explain if, let's say, there is a show coming up and he will be traveling. Now, you could travel out, but you still have to do the 2-week quarantine and all that. That means that's a lot of time you would need. So, if he is going to defend this title overseas, because I don't think they're doing any shows here in the U.S. for a while. So, if he decides to do something over there with them, then this would be that window. because then he could go do the travel, do the 2-week quarantine before match, do their show, win or lose,
It's possible.
and then come back. Yeah.
It's possible. I mean, I don't think that it's necessarily indicative of whether or not he's going to drop the belt.
No,
because
it's not. It's not.
there's nothing that says that you need to defend the belt within 2 weeks. You can still cut promos, during that time. But I think his reign's going to come to end this Wednesday.
Like you said though, there's nobody else on that roster that is in that spot. Kenny Omega he had it early on, that whole feud, and it didn't happen. Pac, same thing. They're not going to go back to the well with the Jericho. They ran that. Cody, that's not happening. He's got his own belt. Lance is still doing the feud somewhat in his mind, versus Cody. And so, who's next? This is it. It's Cage. And Cage, especially with a mouthpiece like Taz, he could last for a while as a champ.
Yeah,
he
absolutely.
Could definitely be the destroyer. Definitely be the destroyer.
And he can go in the ring. He's not just a big.
Not exactly. And I know that some people will then get upset at AEW because they're like, oh well, you made fun of Brock, saying all these big beefy meathead looking guys, and here it is, your guy comes in and he's a big beefy dude. But the thing is, that guy can work. Brock can work also. But this one, man, Cage, he does like standing moonsaults and stuff. He just does stuff for a big guy that you don't expect. And he's entertaining. And this is great. Especially with Taz, it's even better. So, I hope so. I hope it works out. I think that's what's going to happen too. All right. Well, that was it. This went a lot longer than I thought. I thought this was going to be a short show because of the card, but then of course we got into the whole thing with the wrestling, the Battlegrounds 2K game. So, but we will see you guys next time for Extreme Rules Horror Show. Hopefully, it isn't that bad of a horror show, and there are some memorable moments. I think they will be, especially from what I'm hearing of how they're taping up the match with Braun and The Fiend. I'm hearing a lot of good things about that match, that they're trying to go all out with the production on it to make it really special, which is cool. All right, so again, I was your host, Adam Vale, and I'm joined by Dana. Got any shout-outs?
Sorry.
You can do it. Ricky, go ahead. Any shout-outs you want to say?
No, Dana, please go ahead.
Oh, she's mad. There we go. All right.
Okay, all right, fine. I will sub in for Dana. Shout out to everyone listening. Everyone that goes to Koalition.com. All of us here on the WrestleCast. Always a pleasure. And if you take anything away from this, please take these 4 words. Wear a damn mask.
Whoa.
Get a Fiend mask. Did you see the Fiend? Did you see Bray Wyatt with his mask? They could make a killing with those if they saw some.
Absolutely.
Those are some cool looking masks that he had. All right. Rich, anything you want to say?
Yeah, shout outs to all the listeners, all the supporters, and of course everybody on this particular show. Thank you all for checking out this week's show, and looking forward to talking about Extreme Rules next week.
Yeah, this is interesting. It's like we've been doing WrestleCast back to back. Way back when we used to do, every Friday. It was crazy. It was every Friday. There was a lot of wrestling to cover. And then we started putting in just for the pay-per-views, because that's usually when people would tune in, because they want to know exactly what's happening, what's the build-up. Because not everybody has the time, and as you've seen in the ratings, to watch wrestling, period. So, and this is the fact. People know this is
very
fact.
Concerning.
Yeah,
I think it's just the lack of crowds that people are tuning out because they're not getting the crowds, and
the numbers were low even before the crowds, so they can use that as an excuse. But I think people, I don't know. It's going to take something special to bring back, and we'll do a special on that. What can bring back the viewers of wrestling? Just the people that view. We know they were out there.
Nothing.
We know they were out there when WWE was pulling 4-point-something numbers and WCW was pulling the 4-point-something numbers. These were millions of people. Where did they all go? Don't tell me Netflix. All right. Well, thanks again, everybody. thanks for watching. Thanks for checking out all the reviews and articles and pieces we have on the Koalition. Thanks for supporting all of us. You can find us all on Twitter and doing that whole thing, and through the Koalition handle. So yeah, thanks again. We will see you next week for Extreme Rules Horror Show. Peace.